Hi there, it's Luke from Libsaurus. Just over a week ago, JSTOR released the public beta version of their new text analyzer tool. So today I thought we'd have a bit of a sit down and a play around with it to see how it works. This is just for public testing, so it's not the final version, and they will release an alpha version at some point in the future. This is just to play around with it and to give feedback to JSTOR on how to improve the tool. So hopefully we can find a few things that we can let them know how to improve. Let's get into it. So this is the front page of the analyzer tool, and it says drag and drop a document or image here, or copy and paste text. So we're going to do all three of those things. The first thing we're going to do is drag a Word document over. So just drag it and drop it into that box. This is a short essay about copyright, fair use and fair dealing, and comparing the laws between Australia and the United States of America. And it'll be interesting to see how Text Analyzer pulls out the topic. So what Text Analyzer does actually is it looks at a document and pulls out subject terms that it thinks are relevant to that document, and then makes recommendations based on the subject terms, pulling from the JSTOR database. So you can see here that on the left-hand side, it's pulled out some prioritized terms. So copyrights, fair use, copyright laws, intellectual property laws, tax exemptions. I'm not sure why that one's there, but the other four terms are pretty relevant to me. On the right, it's giving me some results. Now these are all articles and book chapters and conference papers and stuff that are available within the JSTOR database. If I was logged into JSTOR, I'd be able to download the PDFs. Back over on the left, underneath the prioritized terms, it's giving me some other terms that I could look at. So I can remove and add terms. So those are topics. I've also got people, locations, and organizations. So pretty useful so far. What I might try and do is see if I can tweak these results a little bit. Get rid of tax exemptions. And we can see that it's having a little bit of a think up here. What'd be nice is like a number of results, so I can see what's happening when I change the search parameters. I'd like to know if I'm getting more or fewer results, whether I'm narrowing or broadening my search. Those all look pretty good, but some of that's quite old. I might want something that's a little bit more recent, so I'm going to click this I prefer recent content and just see what that's doing. It'd be nice to have a bit more functionality in that search and that editing that search. I'd like to be able to filter and limit things a little bit more. I might want a particular publication type, like peer-reviewed journal articles or just conference papers, for example. Or I might want something from a specific date range. Like I might only want something from the last 5 years, or if I'm looking at something more historical, I might want something that things that were published before, say 2010. So let's see what that's doing. That's looking quite good. 2009 is getting a little old, but other than that, that's in 2000. That's not too bad. Right, let's try something else. Let's go back to the home page, and I'm going to upload a screenshot of the first couple of paragraphs of that essay. Now, Text Analyzer, the JSTOR says that Text Analyzer can use images and look at text within images using something called optical character recognition. I don't have high hopes for this. OCR is still very much an emerging technology, and even though it's been around for a while, it's not very good. And we can see, looking at those prioritized terms, that it's not very good. I'm going to show you the screenshot of that essay. So there's the first two paragraphs of that essay. And compare that with what's been pulled out. That's not useful at all. I don't even know what to do with that. There are more topics down here that I could explore, but none of those. Oh, I've got some copyright things here. Okay. So I'd have to add those in manually by clicking on them. and I'd also have to remove these other terms. So essentially that creates a search in JSTOR for copyrights. Not very useful. I could have done that myself on the JSTOR homepage. And this is where a number of results would be really useful. Right, let's try one more thing. Let's go back to the homepage and let's try copying and pasting some text in now. So I've got the first few paragraphs from Wendy Carlos's Wikipedia page. Wendy Carlos is an electronic musician. She pioneered electronic music as a genre back in the late 60s with Switched On Bach. And I think it's fair to say without her, there would be no electronic music, or it'd be a very different landscape. So let's have a look. Wendy Carlos makes sense as a term, so does synthesizers, because she played Bach on synthesizer. That was the whole recording. Audio recordings make sense. Baroque music, yes. Board-mounted lamellophones. I don't even know what lamellophones are. I think we can remove that. We can probably also remove Baroque music and audio recordings, and we'll add some stuff in there. So computer music, electronic music, and maybe MIDI. Now, what's annoying about these panels, especially this one, is that this results panel only fits in like, 2 at any one time? And you can see how small this scroll button is. There are a lot of results in there. So that's a lot of scrolling. I'd like to see a different way of displaying that. I'm not sure how, but I'd definitely like to see that maybe larger along the page, or being able to expand on those, maybe having a compact view and then being able to click to expand. I'm not sure. So there are definitely some things that Text Analyzer can improve, and I'll be letting them know. I'll be sending them this video once it's edited and uploaded. If you want to have a go and send them feedback, you can do that and click this little link up here, which will open up your email client to send feedback straight to JSTOR. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, or hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Is this something that you would use? Is it something you'd like your students to use? Do you think it's useful, or is it a waste of time and energy? I'd be really keen in hearing what you think about this. That's all for this very quick overview. I'm Luke from Libsaurus. Thanks very much for watching.